As the SIU raids a tycoon's home over Tembisa hospital theft, police swoop on top cop Sibiya. Utter devastation at Fort Hare. Historic university in flames after violent student protests. And KFC's secret recipe is out. We have it for you. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Several electronic devices have been confiscated from the Centurion home of suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Sibiya. This follows a secret early morning operation by members of the National Intervention Unit, Special Task Force and Crime Intelligence. Some officers were staked out near Sibiya's home as early as 3 a.m. Sibiya was suspended in September after KZN Police Commissioner Mkwhanazi accused him of trying to disband the political killings task team.
I just want to say, now the gadget has been taken as well, and then when I am preparing myself to participate like all others who participated before me, now in my case, I'm under pressure, I'm under siege, I'm being called a criminal daylight in front of all South Africans. I've been called stupid. I'm waiting also myself to have my day at the commission, at Madlanga Commission. Ultimately, I will be charged. I expect to be pushed out. Is what is this whole thing all about.
4 Lamborghinis, 1 Bentley, a yacht, and property worth nearly 300 million rand. That's the luxury empire the Special Investigating Unit is now seizing from businessman Mkwhanazi Maumela, accused of being a key player in the Tembisa hospital corruption network. The SIU says Maumela's fortune was built on fraudulent hospital tenders, money meant for beds, equipment, and patient care.
Trucks are lined up outside tender tycoon Mkwhanazi Maumela's luxurious 3-story mansion in Sandton as SIU teams load his high-end vehicles onto the trucks. Dozens of law enforcement officials are also inside the property, conducting a thorough search of the lavish residence. Meanwhile, SIU officials have also swooped on a car dealership in Witbank, but refused to divulge if it's linked to the investigation into Maumela's alleged syndicate. SIU spokesperson Mkwhanazi has, however, remained tight-lipped about the details of the operation.
Yes, we can confirm that there was an operation in Witbank. So, however, we were not able to take the cars. We had an agreement with the dealer who gave us a bank guarantee check. Like I said, we can't talk further until the legal process are finalized.
There has been no sight of Maumela as the SIU sweeps through his property. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Sandton.
And this is what we do in South Africa. We burn what we don't like, even if it's where giants, Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, once walked. Fort Hare University was torched as protests turned violent. Students are demanding action against alleged mismanagement, and they're furious over the suspension of their SRC president. Potato prices have crashed to as low as R3.50 a kilo. That's less than half of last year's price. Farmers are counting losses, but shoppers are winning. A bumper harvest, good weather, and fewer exports have flooded the market. Food Lovers market buyer Paul Rach says it's, quote, good and bad news. Great for consumers, tough for growers.
And it's been really a perfect crop this year. No diseases, very little frost, plenty of rain. So it was just a bumper crop. The yields were massive. The exports is far less because Angola seems to be looking after itself these days. So everything is in the consumer's favor, and it's not going to change for a little while.
The body of South Africa's ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, is expected to leave Paris tonight and arrive home on Friday. From OR Tambo International Airport, his remains will be flown to King Shaka International in Durban before being taken to his hometown of KwaMbombambi in KwaZulu-Natal, where a Category 2 official funeral will be held this weekend. Government officials and family members will attend the ceremony, which is expected to include both state and traditional Zulu rites. National Police Commissioner Fani Masomela says migration and competition for resources are driving South Africa's rising crime levels. Testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee on police corruption, Masemola said regional free movement treaties have changed migration patterns, and that since COVID-19, South Africa has become a destination of choice. His appearance follows 2 days of testimony from KZN Police Chief Nhlanhla Mkwhanazi.
Since COVID-19, the country has never been the same. There is a lot of unemployment, and that also brings the element of crime and new crime. And of course, most of the countries, they are looking for where they can look for gold or something to eat. And that South Africa, unfortunately, becomes a destination of choice.
Should anything happen to me, the National Commissioner, General Masemola, will be responsible. I thank you.
The South African National Editors Forum has slammed Mkwhanazi for accusing journalists of pushing agendas and calling for a counterintelligence probe into 2 media houses.
We are now going towards the route of the oppressive tactics employed by the apartheid state, and we don't want to go back.
This is after Mkwhanazi launched a broadside at the press while testifying before Parliament. This was his reaction to questions from a City Press reporter about possible legal action against him earlier this year.
They are going to not only be held accountable by that media house by losing their jobs, but they must end up in prison. There must be heavy penalty.
The UN says it is ready to flood Gaza with food and medicine as the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas finally takes hold. UNRWA Chief Philippe Lazzarini called the deal a, quote, huge relief, saying it'll bring respite to people who've survived 2 years of bombardment, displacement and grief. The ceasefire follows Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan calling for Israel's withdrawal from Gaza, the release of Palestinian prisoners and the return of Israeli hostages. World leaders have welcomed the deal, calling it a crucial step towards peace. And now, we finally have KFC's secret recipe. Not the one for chicken, the one the world really needs. KFC Africa has open-sourced its Add Hope Blueprint, the country's biggest feeding program to help end child hunger. Unveiled at the biggest hunger hack in Johannesburg, it's a bold call for global collaboration and Gen Z innovation, turning a recipe for food into a recipe for hope. I think you might have to wait a lot longer to get the real deal.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.